Welcome to the very special It Happened in Grand Prairie, our history tape number 141. We're taping this on a very special day. We're taping this on March the 4th, 1991, and we are very excited as we go in to bring you history of people that have made history in the past, but that are very important to making history in Grand Prairie this very day. And we're so pleased to bring a very special young man to you today, Mr. Thomas Mays. And Mr. Mays, we're so glad to welcome you to the set.
Good to be here.
Yes, it is. It's very good for us to have you on the set because we've been working a long time to get you just on this spot. And we'd like to begin this interview today with your establishing a little bit about your personal genealogy. We'd like for you to look out into your camera and maybe tell us your mother and father's name and something about your own immediate family when you were born and some of the good stuff about Thomas Mays.
Well, my father's name was Felix Rogers Mays, and my mother's name was Esther Mays, Esther Glasson Mays. And now, let's see, now, what order we go there now?
All right, now then we need all about your brothers and sisters. How many children were there in that wonderful
There was 10
family?
of us.
10 of them,
10.
Okay, all right. And
That's a good-sized farm family.
that was a good-sized farm.
Right.
Oh, well, tell us, your dad was a farmer, and
Oh,
where,
yes.
and a little
Yes.
something about it.
Well, mostly from Hill County. I mean, most of my days of recollection, we farmed in Hill County in the northern part at the little community of Covington.
All right.
And
Okay.
And my wife's family was named McElroy. Edward McElroy was Sally's father, and Eula Lee Harper was her mother.
All right.
And they had 5 children, and Sally being the oldest, and then Johnny, and then Tom, and Marguerite and Mildred. There was five of them.
And all of that is in Sally's family, your wonderful wife.
That's right.
Of how many years? About?
Well, 55.
About 55.
Last Thursday.
Oh, this is a good celebration for the 55th anniversary. Isn't that marvelous? All right.
Did you say I was a young man?
Yes, so you bet. Now, the McElroys, did they live near Covington also?
They did. They were native to Itasca and that general area.
Yes,
there. Now, Sally's grandfather was the one of the early merchants of the town, and he was a man that dealt in thrashers and combines and that type of thing, and they'd go make the wheat harvest maybe in Kansas. And,
oh, yes.
And they operated gins and that type of thing. So, and they also had a hardware store there earlier, and it is quite a varied type operation. Operated gin at Covington even at one time.
All right. Now, mentioning Covington, where your dad farmed.
Yeah.
Was there a little school there? Where did Thomas Mays go to school? And you got to name all of the rest of those 9 kids that you told us that your parents had.
Well, I went to school at Covington. We had a high school there.
All right.
And still there, by the way, and still going pretty good.
All right.
Of course, it's small. I think there was 12 in my graduating class, as I recall. And of course, I believe every one of us finished school there at Covington. My older brothers and all. Lloyd, my oldest brother, was I know finished there, and he was just right for the end of World War I.
All right.
But he never did have to go across because the arms just came along, prior to his having to go. And then Joe, my second brother's living. I had a brother, Frank, in between Joe and Lloyd that died. Frank Lloyd's born in 1900, and Frank in 1902, and Joe was born in 1903. This all happened pretty fast there, you know.
You bet.
And then the brother just younger than Joe died. And then I was the next one in line, 5 boys in a row there.
All right, the other one that passed away other than Frank?
That was Brady.
Brady, okay.
Brady, yes,
Let's get Brady into this genealogy,
Yeah,
okay.
Okay.
And then came along Thomas Mays.
And then came Thomas Mays, is right.
Okay. What year?
That is in 1912.
Okay, 1912, that was a good year.
You bet. You bet, a top year.
All right, now after these 5 boys, are there more boys or more sisters?
One more boy. Weldon was born 10 years years after me, and I had 3 sisters between me and Weldon, Louise Harris, and Kathleen Harden, and Dorothy Hawk, and then Weldon Mays, Weldon F. Mays, and then Melba Moore.
All right.
That completes my brothers and sisters.
Okay. Now, of the ones that are living, are there any of them in this vicinity?
Yes, Louise Harris is living in Cedar Hill.
All right.
And Kathleen Harden is living in Oak Cliff.
Okay.
Melba Moore is living in Pottsboro.
Oh, that's...
And Weldon is living in Greenville.
All right. Well, you have them all scattered around in a close proximity, don't you? When you all have
close, yes,
you still have a big get-together at Christmas or Thanksgiving?
As big as the bunch.
As big as the bunch.
Yes.
Oh, that is wonderful.
We have that every year.
All right. And your dad was a farmer, and did he stay on the farm forever?
Until he passed away.
Until he passed away.
Yes, he died in 1942.
All right.
It's been a while.
Yes, it has. All right, then Thomas Mays from down in the Covington area graduated from high school. Then what happened to Thomas?
Well, I went to school 2 years at Hildeborough Junior College, and this, mind you, I graduated in 1930 from high school, and that was just before the Depression really hit.
Yes.
And I mean, things really clamped down. We didn't know we was having a hard time, but anyhow, we did. There was no money. But anyhow, I managed to go to school 2 years at Hillsborough and graduate from that junior college there. And then I came to Dallas and went to work for Sears Roebuck and worked there through the fall season, I guess you'd call it, in the mail order business. And that was a big deal because the farmers, you know, most everybody used that mail order catalog, and they ordered those things. And
well, tell us about working at Sears. What did you do there? That sounds very exciting.
Well, I always thought the farm boys had the hard work, but I found out that the town boys are the one that did the work, usually. I went to work just before they took them off of roller skates. They used to pick those orders. You know, they'd have this department and several different departments, and these orders would come in maybe with a purchase from here and one from here and one from here, and they'd have a central gathering point, and we had those orders to fill and bring into that one point.
I see.
And that's the way it worked, you know. And we didn't do it on skates, but we moved. I mean, we ran.
Yes.
You know, to keep up with
They
it.
had you timed for your deliveries and pickups and everything.
Well, that schedule worked very, very precise.
And how long did you stay at Sears?
Oh, that wound me up that fall.
I see. Okay.
I got laid off after the fall rush was over, and then went to work for Ford Motor Company.
All right. Where was that located?
Oh, that was out on East Grand in Dallas, and I got rich out there. Just I thought, because I was making $4 a day.
$4 a day.
$4 a day. That was big money.
Oh, that's very exciting.
Well, you think
what'd you do at Ford?
I was working on the production stock, they called it. It was really unloading boxcars is what it boiled down to, you know, and you'd put those different parts in the proximity of where they would be used on those assembly lines. You know, they had this assembly line that started with maybe the frame and whatnot, and then it'd come on around the different parts of the and add to as it'd go along. Then it'd roll off the other end, you know, a finished car, and it'd drive it off. So anyhow,
y'all had to put the parts in the right place, didn't you?
But that wasn't too regular work. And Sally and I, in the meantime, had been courting pretty heavy, and we.
Did you meet her at Covington School?
Oh yes, not at Covington School. She went to Grandview.
All right, let's get that in the record. She went to Grandview School. What is in what community?
Well, the Grandview.
Grandview community.
Grandview, yes.
All right, let's put that down then. Okay. All right. Now, and you all started courting. How'd you meet her? You in Covington and she in Grandview?
Well, she had her grandparents and other aunts and uncles that lived in the Covington community.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So it just happened. I don't know.
Y'all went to church together and found each other?
Some, yes.
Yeah.
Some.
All right.
Anyhow, I went to work then after that for some friends of ours that had a laundry, and incidentally, the laundry's still operating today, and it's at the corner of Bishop Street and Jefferson there in Oak Cliff.
So you went to work for Oak Cliff Laundry, okay?
No, it's Supreme Laundry was the name of the company. It was in Oak Cliff.
Okay.
And I worked there for, about 8 or 9 years, and started out running a route. And that was quite an interesting experience, but I made a living at it.
Yes.
And then let's see, we might as well bring Jenkins in along here somehow. Anyhow,
Yes.
we had bought a house in the meantime on South Vernon Street, and Jenkins and Georgia May had a little store, little neighborhood stores and a duplex, to be exact. Went by there the day before yesterday and looked at it, just kind of reminiscing a little.
Yes.
And we bought groceries from them and just became friends. You know, our children were small then. We had 3 children there, and they had 2. Had Ann and had Verna and Jerry. I don't know whether you know those or not,
Yes.
but anyhow. And so we became acquainted, and then I just was going to go in the plant as a superintendent. You know, in the meantime, they'd built another plant over, and so it was a step up for me. So I went in, and he decided he wanted to get in the laundry business. He'd been cashing my check. I don't know whether that's induced him any or not. I don't know. But anyhow, that's how our relationship started.
All right, give me Mr. Jenkins' full name.
It's Jasper Vernon.
Jasper
JV.
Vernon, okay.
Yeah, JV.
Okay. Okay.
And Georgie, you want Georgie's name or not?
Yes, let's have that.
Yeah, okay. Georgia May Buckley. She was Lois Buckley's brother. And Virgil, you may.
Yes, remember
okay.
Virgil Buckley?
Yeah,
Okay.
And so anyhow, well, let's see if I can keep this in continuity. Anyhow, this kind of ramble a little bit, but Mr. Kerr, whose wife was postmistress here
Yes.
at the time.
Yes, remember Mrs.
Yeah,
Turner?
Mr. Kerr worked at the same place I did, and he left the laundry, and now I believe John Stuffelbeam is who's his son-in-law was, and he bought the plant up there close to Oscar Long's place. Anyhow, Vernon bought that after I'd already gone back to Covington then to go in the grocery business. And I spent 3 years at Covington in the grocery business, but of course, having been in the bright lights for a while, I soon decided that I wanted to come on back up here. So he and I started planning to put in this laundry down here.
And where was your first laundry located in Grand Prairie, Texas?
609 East Jefferson.
609 East Jefferson. And let's take one of these and pick this up and show. This is the original portion?
That right there is the original portion.
All right, now let's hold that up where maybe our camera can get to that and see if we can clue that in. Yeah, see how nice? Oh, that is great. And then this is the original part of the building, and then you have later added on to that building.
Yes, added this over here.
All right, now let's put this to one side. And you all grew as you were in the laundry business there, and I think this is one of the most fantastic photographs. Let's hold this up.
Yeah.
And you said at one time you had a bunch of employees.
Well, we had about 60 people there at a time.
All right, let's see if we can do
There's JV, and there's me.
Yes, the bosses are right on the front row, aren't they?
Yeah, showing more feet than anything else all across there.
Yes, and this is not the largest number of employees that you had at one time.
No.
And you had as many as 60?
Oh yes, yeah.
Okay, let's turn this down a little. They said we're needing to get a better picture of that. Yes, because that is a really neat picture. There are many folks that are in this that have meant a lot to Grand Prairie.
Oh, yes.
All right, now tell me about running a laundry business. What all does that entail, Mr. Mays?
Well, that covers a lot of territory.
Yes, it does.
One of the main things I think would probably be of concern to people is how in the world are you going to keep my clothes from getting mixed up with somebody else?
Yes.
Yeah. And how do you do this and how do you do that?
All
well,
right.
It was really a foolproof system that never did work just exactly right all the time.
But nearly all the time?
Nearly all the time, but it was a matter of proper identification. And on laundry, of course, when we did a lot a lot of bundle laundry, I'll call it that, but where it be, it consists of your linens and everything. While we'd put a numbered pin on a bag and fasten it up, and with everything in there, you know, and so many number pins completed a tray, we'd call it, and
Yes.
and then you'd have a ticket with those marks on there, and then that is it, you know,
Yes.
just simple.
All right. Who encouraged you to bring your laundry to Grand Prairie, Texas? Or
Well, it's just a good opportunity here.
just a good opportunity.
Just a good opportunity.
Good business
right,
opportunity.
Right. And we put that laundry in 1947. It opened it in
Okay.
December '47, and about that time we not only had an opportunity for a good business opportunity, we had an opportunity to buy equipment pretty cheap, and that's a sizable expenditure to buy that laundry equipment. But we got the biggest part of our original equipment from the Army laundry that was closing down at Paris. Was that Camp Maxey? I believe Camp. Anyhow, it was Paris.
Paris, Texas.
Paris, Texas.
Okay.
We got that and put it in there.
All right.
Got some of it from Dalhart. We bought a barrel that come in from Dalhart, and anyhow, just a good opportunity to get it at a greatly reduced price. That's the only way we could go with it at that time.
Yes.
You know, we didn't have the money to do it otherwise. But and anyhow, it's just a good way to make a living.
All right. Now, tell me this.
Laundry business was the 7th largest industry in the United States back just prior to the time we went in. But then, of course, things have changed due to fabrics as much as anything
Yes.
else, and good home laundry equipment and
Yes.
all of those things, you know. But it's still big in the industrial field today even.
My Mr. Jackson really enjoyed your laundry service because that was the only time his underwear was completely ironed.
Oh.
And he thought that was very...
Did he ever get any starch in it?
No, never did get any starch in them, but he really enjoyed that, and that
Yeah.
was one of the pleasures that we afforded when we were back in the dark ages.
Yeah, we appreciated the business too.
You bet. All right, now tell me this. When did you move personally your home to Grand Prairie, Texas?
In 1947.
When the laundry opened.
When the laundry opened.
Okay, you moved to
Right.
Grand Prairie, Texas.
Yes.
Picked up stakes, everything from Covington, and
Yes.
wiped that
Yeah.
off, and you've been
Came
Grand
up here.
Prairie ever since.
Ever since.
Oh, that is
Yeah,
wonderful.
yeah.
And you really have become ingrown into Grand Prairie because you've
Well,
done lots of good stuff here.
Well,
Name
thank
some
you.
of the things
Thank
you've
you.
done.
Well,
Like beginning with your service on the council, the
Yeah.
city commission.
Well, I don't know how I got into that, but anyhow I did. And back in 1954, we had what we call was a slate. It's C.R. Sargent and Dewey Miller, Jill Perkins, J.D. Weems, and myself.
All right.
We ran as a slate and were elected. And during that time, we hired the first city manager of Grand Prairie.
All right.
And we got TRA tied into Grand Prairie, or whatever term we want to use that, and
Yes.
got tied into the Dallas water system. And so we've done, did several things that
were
we
right.
were quite proud of. That was good for Grand Prairie, you know.
Yes, all right. And who was our first city manager you hired?
Dean Dawley.
Dean Dawley. Okay. He was a mover and a shaker, wasn't he?
He was.
All right.
Yeah.
And prior to serving on the city commission, did you have any other service with the city, like on boards or?
Well, no, I don't think so. Most of my time has been spent, maybe I've been active in church. And,
All right. Name us your church.
it's First Baptist.
First Baptist Church. All right. Dr. Poteet and all of the good folks that worship there now.
Yeah, I started there when Dr. Taylor was there.
All right.
Yeah,
Okay. He was
yeah.
the first minister you
Yes,
worked with.
He came shortly after we moved our membership here.
All right.
We had an interim pastor, I can't remember his name,
All right.
prior to Dr. Taylor coming here.
Well, did you work in the church? Did you teach classes, or were you an officer or on boards or whatever in your
Well,
church?
I've been on boards, or for whatever term you want to use for it, and connected in some fashion in the Sunday school work ever since that time.
Oh, that is great. All right. Well, tell me a little bit about Sally. Did Sally have a part in that, or did she work out of the home, or what?
She usually managed the home.
All right.
And she never did work other than just an interested partner with me, you know.
Yes.
She didn't work actively in the business, no.
All right, now let's get down to the homemaking part of her. Since she isn't here to talk about the kids, we're going to have to name your kids, your grandkids, and all of the good stuff about the maize flock, those 3 wonderful children of yours. How about that now?
Well, that, of course, the oldest one being Glenda.
All right.
And she married Bob Higgins.
All right, let's get Glenda's picture here out of one of these yearbooks.
Yeah, there she is right there.
Isn't that a beautiful young lady? I know that, isn't that lovely? Oh, that's great. That's a great shot. Oh, yes, that is wonderful. Miss Glenda is the older of your darlings.
Yes, right.
Okay, Grand Prairie High School, one of the beauties of the school.
And she has 3 children.
All right, let's have those names and everything.
Laurie Lee.
All right.
And let's see, her married name is Laurie Lee Putz now.
All right.
P-U-T-Z.
All right.
And then Stephen Mark.
Okay.
And Brian. Let's see, Robert Brian.
Okay, Robert Brian. So that's 3 wonderful grandchildren just from Glenda, right?
And Laurie has 2 daughters.
All right.
Sarah and Jennifer, which is great grand, you know.
Oh, that's wonderful.
You bet, they really are. And you had a name on.
All right, where do they live?
They live in California. I was just trying to think of the name of the town. It's down off the Bay Area.
Okay. We'll go for California.
Yeah,
we'll
just go for California.
All right, and your second daughter then?
The boy.
Okay, the boy. Does he have children?
No, he just has a wife.
All right, you gonna name her?
Her name? Tammy.
Tammy, okay.
Tammy's a beautiful little lady, and she is a hostess on American Airlines.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
All right.
okay.
All right, now let's go for Robert Brian.
Brian is the baby, and he's a brain damaged child, and he's in Marby's Ranch in Austin.
Oh, wonderful. And you that way you get to go down and check on him every now and then. Okay, now how about your next daughter?
Let's see, Tim has...
and Tim is a daughter, really.
Tim is a daughter.
Tell them why she's a daughter. That's her nickname.
Mary Catherine's her name.
Okay, Mary Catherine.
She has 2 girls.
Okay.
One is named Leslie.
All right.
And she is in California and preparing to enter. To get her master in English.
All right.
She's already graduated from UT.
Okay.
And I can't think of the town. You'll have to excuse me.
That's all right.
Some of years.
Does Tim have another one other than Leslie?
Yes, she has Rachel.
Rachel. Okay.
And Rachel is in Texas Tech at Lubbock.
Oh, Red Raider. Okay, Red Raider country. All right, now your son. We got to get to your son.
Well, Mike is married. His wife's name is Linda.
All right.
They live in Austin.
All right.
And I don't know how you'd classify Mike. He's kind of an entrepreneur, I guess.
Good.
I don't know. Yeah, he's presently doing some work on assets management for Southwest Saving.
All right.
Helping clear up some stuff there for them.
Yeah.
And he has some operations of his own there that he's doing.
All right. Now, I need to get back to the laundry because there are a couple of pictures in this old Jeep Grand Prairie High School annual. I believe this is 1960.
Yeah.
And this has one of the ads of the Grand Prairie Laundry. And in that picture are several young people that I know that you'd want us to get a good shot at. Can you tell us who those are in there?
Well, let's see. That's Mike.
That's your son.
That's my son.
All right.
And let's see. This one's Judy Raines right here.
All right.
And that one's Don Mayer.
All right.
And that's Barbara Gartman.
Oh, that
right
is
there.
good. That's wonderful. That's one of your ads. And let's see if in your other ad here of this Jeep annual, if you have, you really did help the kids at Grand Prairie High School in buying these ads for the annual.
Well,
that helped pay for the annual, didn't it?
Tell me about it.
Oh, yeah. Grand Prairie Laundry and Dry Cleaners, and can you tell us those?
Well, that's my daughter, Timmy.
All right.
And that's John Kirkendall.
Okay.
Of course, that's the conveyor that we had inside the plant there. I guess we had one of the first of those go-around deals.
Conveyors.
Conveyors, in Grand Prairie. We thought we was really doing something there.
That is wonderful. All right, we've talked about the laundry, we've talked about your family, even down to the great-grandkids, and that's wonderful, but now let's get to Thomas Mays personally. I know you're a member of Rotary. Anything else? Tell me about your Rotary life.
Well, I just go down there and enjoy it, really.
Yes.
I've never taken as active a part, really. I guess maybe I should have, but I've tried not to spread myself too thin, you know. But I enjoy Rotary, enjoy the good fellowship, and I've had lots of good acquaintances from there and friends from there. I think about people like C.R. Sargent, who's gone over, and Dewey Miller is one of the first presidents, you know, of that club. And of course, Dewey is not as active as he once was at 92, you know, and sick presently at the time.
Yes.
And Mr. Sargent, and we could just name them on and on, you know.
Good
like
people that influenced.
People that have given their time and support to the things that were for the building up of the community and the good things of the community. And so I don't know, I've tried to be a good citizen and let that reflect on Rotary maybe, rather than I've never been, well, I don't know hardly how to put it. I never have just taken a lead part so much in Rotary.
In other words, you didn't ever want to be president of Rotary, or you'd rather be a Rotarian. That's fine,
I'd rather
isn't
be a
it?
Rotarian, is right.
Yes.
That's exactly right. Maybe that expresses it all right there.
All right. Well, Mr. Mays, you have given just a tremendous amount to the community in community service, as an elected official, as a church member, as a family man, so many other things. If you had 1 minute to look out into your camera and just tell people what you think about Grand Prairie. Are you going to stay here for a while?
Well, I'll stay here for a while, I hope. You never know. I think I'm living on borrowed time now already, you know, by about, what, 10 years, 9 years, something like that.
All right.
But Grand Prairie has been a place that we've enjoyed living, and at the time we came here, we were able to make friends and get acquainted with very little effort, because so many of the people in Grand Prairie at that time were young families as ours was, and were looking for a friend and looking for a place to live and a church to go to and schools for their children and all those things that go to make up what's necessary to raise a family and live and have a good community. And I've enjoyed it.
Wonderful.
I think we have a good community too, still.
Yes. You bet.
Yeah.
And Mr. Mays, I want to thank you for taking the time to be with us today.
Yes.
I know that in your retirement that you're enjoying yourself, because I've called you no less than 30 times to try to find you at home. So I know retirement is sweet for you and Sally.
We're still raising cows.
You're still raising cows.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah, right.
Well, we want to thank you for
okay.
all of the things you've done for
Yeah,
Grand
okay.
Prairie, and thank you for a good set of kids.
Okay. Yeah,
That is
well, yeah, I'm
wonderful.
proud of the kid. That's,
yes,
yeah.
and all of them were Gophers. That's wonderful.
That's right. They
That's
surely
right.
were.
Thank you
Okay.
for being with us today.
Okay.
And this is Ruthie Jackson reminding you that history is as we live and do. Thanks.
Thank you.